time zones. Welcome to another Shady Pines Crew Weekend Edition. I got Charlie and Daddy Sage and Cat with me, and I am back
Howdy.
for my only July stream. With
Y'all like to throw off my routine. It's okay.
I feel so weird streaming because it's been like a while.
hmm Oh yeah, I was like when I had the timer running to the intro timer. I was like, da, 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 da. Oh yeah, I have to do an intro. Shit, that's a
It,
thing I have to do.
it took me like 10 minutes to staring at my laptop going, something's missing. I need to get my microphone.
It's
Well,
weird
that's
when you're
better.
like away from the system for a couple weeks. Hey, Persephone,
Hello.
you're Persephoneito.
The-
I don't know why.
Oh my! Grandpa Jason's strong with us today.
No, I think it's because I'm watching that RPG that's set in 1991. So
Oh, oh.
I'm being thrown back into my freshman year.
Everything's to the extreme!
Except I wasn't to the extreme. I was to the meek.
I was sitting around singing old Christian death songs, just wondering when we might get to, kill some things and just bring an end to it all. I love being a goth.
I love being a goth. And hello, CB. Welcome, welcome.
I'm gonna go make some fruit dip.
Fruit dip.
Yeah,
Are you
it's gonna
camera?
go to-
Are
literally
you bringing
cream cheese.
camera?
I would have to open it up on my phone, but I can. If y'all would like to go to my kitchen.
So you can participate. So we can have your presence with us. And I said whiff.
Oh, Persephone, I'm in the life of the goth. Like I'm still listening to my Christian Death and my Sisters of Mercy. And actually, I've been listening a lot to the Merciful Nuns lately, which are a complete ripoff of Sisters of Mercy, but by a completely different group of people. But they sound like them if they had continued making music, and I'm here for it. Because the kids these days, they got tired of Andrew not making music and just decided, why not?
That is a wise decision to have made. And I know what I'm going to be doing when the spring starts is digging out some Sisters of Mercy, because that sounds like an excellent idea.
Oh my goodness, if you've not heard the Merciful Nuns, it's frightening. Like I had to look them up because I was like, is that Andrew? Is it? No, it's not. It's like this 19-year-old kid who sounds just like him.
I will look into that.
It's freaky. They're kind of amazing.
So we have had Megan join us and Spence join us. Welcome, welcome. And we have double cats. So we actually have 4 cats on the screen.
But for anybody who's been out of the goth scene for a while, the band that you missed is Oh Children. Definitely look them up. Phenomenal band.
Phenomena. Spence says, guess what? Phenomena. Phenomena.
I have a problem.
Considering that we 2 of us played along with it, I think we all have problems.
What is it, Spence? What is it?
What is it, Lassie? I don't live in that apartment anymore. Yay!
Woo!
Also, Mr. Spence is the most badass person ever, apparently. Cool.
Of that, I have
Persephone
little doubt.
says, thank you for that earworm. Megan says, I've been listening to an F ton of feminist music, angry feminist music. Wonder why.
And on that note, if you've not heard yet, uh, Megan is putting together a wonderful feminist anthology. Go and check out her channel and the announcement video. There is a Discord that you can message her, or I think me. I think you set up where any of us can invite. And yeah, it's going to be amazing.
That is...
Well, how are you supposed to get to Wonderland if you don't jump down the well? I'm just saying. Actually, that's not really Wonderland. That's like the beginning of Inuyasha. But, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other.
Megan says she thinks she can invite, but made Charlie a moderator.
Woohoo!
Mr. Spence basically moved them all by himself, and they're like 99% done. Nice.
That is excellent.
That's why he said that he was a god yesterday and a sloth before.
He's been saying how tired he is, which is very understandable.
Yeah, the hubby has basically moved us every time because with my back, I can't lift things. Well, I can't lift heavy things. And because he generally packs things to like tonnage.
He's lying. Neither is it.
But I get that sense of awe because like I don't understand. Like, how do you not have back problems now?
I have back problems from not lifting anything at all. Like I can wake up in pain.
I fell down a flight of stairs and had a 5 chest of drawers land on top of me.
Ugh.
That is the origin story of the superpower that is my back problems.
Well, I know where mine started. Mine started with a job that the hospital was having me do, the pharmacy was having me do, and it threw out my back, and they did the whole, workman's comp, and you know how backs don't actually heal, they flare back up all the time.
Bipedalism was a mistake, yes.
Yeah, the people that handle workman's comp have decided that that's not a thing that exists. So flare-ups are new instances, and because you don't know what caused it, and you were healed from the one before, so they don't have to deal with the flare-up.
It could be anything. It's a mystery. It's a strange little magic that just follows you around and every now and then shoves a hot poker into your spine.
Yep. So yeah, the hospital fucked up my back, and well, not the hospital as in being a patient, but the hospital as being an employee fucked up my back, and I have a permanent injury.
Yeah, I like to think of my back as a little demon that follows me around and every now and then gets a little too fresh with a hot poker. But as discussed earlier, I like to personify a lot of things so I can yell at them.
Yes.
There's nothing here to make with a mixer.
He's still over there doing stuff by himself and like clearing and getting stuff out of closets, and I have no idea what to do to usefully shower him in praise.
Well, at least with my husband, it's really easy. It's called pie.
You shower him in pie? That's a fetish, you know.
Oh, you don't have to tell me. I had a boyfriend who was really, really problematic.
If I might misquote Archer, do you want a yeast infection? Because that's how you get a yeast infection.
Oh, that just took me back to one of the conversations we are having, and I was like, "Do you want Gehenna? Because that's how you get Gehenna."
Everything is how you get Gehenna.
I
Everything.
mean, Charlie's not wrong.
And your vampire sneezes, and the allergic reaction brings about Gehenna.
But let's be real, Charlie is rarely wrong.
Okay,
Oh.
this is reminding me of a sketch that Brookers did way back in the beginning of YouTube, because she was the very first viral YouTuber. Like, she was the first one to hit like huge numbers, and nobody remembers her now because YouTube is what,
Giant.
16 years old, or no, like 18 years old now, and this was
Did
back in
you
like
think Google is
2005.
2 months younger than me?
What?
Google is 2 months younger than I am.
Cool.
I'm so old.
Anyway, the sketch that she did was she was basically doing a newscast, and everything. It was basically how the news tells you that everything you do is going to kill you. Like, too much this and you will die, and too much that and you will die, and if you do this you will die, and that's what that Gehenna conversation reminded me of.
Water is poisonous in the right amounts.
Oh, I have a sprint timer ready. You're turning into dust there.
I don't know why
Yep.
that sounds so threatening, but
What sounds threatening? The timer.
I have a sprint timer ready.
Ow. Okay, let's do this thing.
Cool.
I literally reacted like Jace pulled a knife on me.
I have a timer, and I'm not afraid to use it.
No!
Okay, we will do the mute thing, and we will start in 3,
Wait,
2,
maybe.
1, go. And time is up. I got reading done for a client. So I did work. I was
Woohoo.
productive. How did other people do? As I stretch and try not to be drowsy, which is failing.
I was also productive, just not on what I thought I was going to be productive on. I thought I was going to be working on writing during that sprint. I did not do that at all. I found some stock photography and made some mock-ups and answered some queries. And now I'm uploading mock-ups into Canva so that I can make a cover.
Nice. I think. Oh, there's.
I was talking and forgot to unmute my microphone. I got some coffee, took my allergy pills, and started working on one of the prompts for World Building Summer Camp.
Nice. Oh, stop yawning. Okay.
Yeah, I was really hoping to be a lot further ahead than I am. I've only gotten like 3 prompts finished so far, but I've been very busy doing a lot of other things.
Makes sense. Makes
I'm-
very sense.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself to the 300 word limit because you can't submit them if they're not at least 300 words. So I'm trying not to do what I normally do and write these like 2,000 to 10,000 word epic articles about things that I really don't need to know yet. I only need to do 300 words apiece. Just keep them simple. What are the most important, most salient bits of information that I need? It's very hard.
Let's see. Megan did some brainstorming for the feminist anthology and scribbled down some ideas. Excellent. Persephone got words and looked for a document that apparently doesn't exist. I know those feels, especially when you've changed computers like 3 times. It's like, where was this story?
This is why I highly recommend everybody have a cloud storage system that they like. I've used Dropbox forever, mainly because in the early days when they were like, hey, we'll give you an extra gig if you invite friends, I had a podcast, so I got like terabytes of free space. So I have a lot of space for a very little bit of money, so I'm still using them. But have something like that, because then all your computers have the same stuff on them. And even better, if you have the paid account, you have a go back machine, so that if you accidentally deleted something you didn't mean to delete, it still exists on the cloud and you can magically make it reappear and come back down.
I have a lot of pre-cloud stuff that I never bothered to, do anything with.
That's what I like about Dropbox, is it just creates a folder on your computer and you just put your other folders in there and it syncs them. So,
And CB is writing a Marvel Harry Potter crossover where 11-year-old Severus Snape gets adopted by Howard Stark and Peggy Carter and is therefore Tony's older brother. Interesting.
I'm making dinner.
Dinner is good.
And
Oh.
she's watching something on the TV, so that's why I'm not out there with the camera anymore.
So I had a topic for the day that was plot promises. And I'm getting drowsy. Mainly because what I'm working on is reading, and reading makes me drowsy, regardless of how good or bad it is. It just puts me in relaxed state.
That makes sense.
Yeah, depending on what I'm doing, what I'm reading, it can have the exact opposite effect. Like if it's a story that I'm familiar with or a setting that I know all too well, it can be very relaxing. But because I'm me, I generally read other things that get me like all worked up, and I'm like, I must rebut this.
So, wow, I had like all this mental stuff, all these mental files prepared for plot promises, and I can't find them. I need my brain cloud back up.
That's a mood.
Well, while you're rebooting your brain or not, um, I'm very grateful for the folks over at Plotter who put out a video this week on the W plot, because I had not thought about the W plot in forever and realized that's why I'm having such a problem with the story I've been trying to write for a while now. Is I was conceptualizing the plot wrong and how the story actually functioned wrong. And as I'm listening to him to describe how the W plot works with its rise and fall and super fall um, mechanic, I'm like, oh yeah, because that's this plot point, that plot point, that like I knew my brain had told me all of the plot points of the W, all the main plot points of the W, but I was trying to make it fit into other methods of constructing a story.
So it's a plot structure.
Yeah, it's a plot structure where you start with an inciting incident that brings you down to an early dark moment that gives you a rise back up to a place where it looks like, oh, things are going to work, and then at about the midpoint, there's an ultimate reversal that, oh no, we were wrong the whole time, or oh, that really didn't work, or something bad happens. Most Final Fantasy games actually fit this plot structure really, really well, where you're like, we're going to go defeat the bad guy. And you get to the bad guy and they're like, oh, wait, there was a different bad guy behind the bad guy that we thought was the big bad guy that's actually the big bad guy. And now we just let it go and now we're all dead. Okay.
I'm trying to remember. Was it Wild Arms that did that like 6 or 7 times?
Yeah.
Just layer after layer of. Nope, the princess is another castle type of thing.
Because as I was trying to wrap my head around the story and how the story should be broken up, because I know this is because I am me, probably going to be part of a series. I knew that in the middle of the story that I had in my mind, something really terrible was going to happen, something very, very bad. And my brain kept going back and forth. Like, is that the dramatic cliffhanger for this book that leads into book 2? Is that, I really was having a hard time conceiving of how the story actually laid out, in the whole project. And listening to his description of that, really like, oh yeah, this is that really dark midpoint where it's like, yeah, we're gonna win. Oh, this is not victory, this is not winning. No. Which made the beat work better, because it didn't work well as the end of the story, it didn't work well in any of the other ways I was trying to conceive it, but as this like early precursor to the darkest moment, because it's actually not the darkest moment of the story. It's just the, we're gonna win. Oh no, we're not. No. So that made me very happy to finally figure out a way to tell the story I wanted to tell.
I don't know what I hit on that keyboard when I flipped this binder open, but it started cycling through the lighting schemes, and I didn't know this keyboard could do that. Like, you hit a button to change the lighting schemes, but this was actually like doing it on its own.
You found the secret demo mode.
Apparently. And I don't know what it pushed. Oh well.
Well, he's something with balls. I don't know.
Wavelengths.
Do you want Jace's? Because this is how you get Jace's.
Hmm. I'm sitting here trying to be good and not say those things,
Why?
and then they just come out your mouths anyway. So,
Like, people would really think that I had been replaced by a pod person if I wasn't at least somewhat cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like, there has to be a certain level, or it's like, well, that's why Charlie went away for a week, because they were being replaced by the pod people.
but Charlie, you're not cursed, you're blessed.
Oh, speaking of blurst,
Oh no.
or is it cursed? The thing that I posted in the memery, the Oscar Mayer meat seltzers.
I had a visceral reaction to that image.
I love the visiting cat face of doom. Like, just no. Like, I can't stay off camera for this. I have to show my disapproval. It must be known.
Well, now I must show it.
It's
I've
so,
seen the images of it.
so wrong on so very many levels.
Yeah, but there
No,
are more
you don't
people than
agree.
just you guys to curse
True.
with this.
I feel like this needs one of those like new movie trailer, like really sad reboots of like the Oscar Mayer Wiener song. You know, that's nothing like, but like Hans Zimmer, like whoom sounds and it's like beautiful soprano just hauntingly singing. You know, I wish I were an Oscar Mayer Wiener. You know, just like
Oh,
Holds up
Fortuna.
crucifix and hisses. Persephone.
But who doesn't want olive loaf meat seltzer?
I mean, considering some of the seltzers that I have tried that I saw what they said that they were described as and the actual flavor that came out of them, I withhold judgment on these because for all I know, they all taste like snozberries. I don't know because
I mean,
they sent us
yeah.
some samples of some seltzers the other day, and one of them was a peach mango seltzer that the best way I could describe it is, can you imagine if you rubbed chalk onto concrete with sand in it and then like baked it in the sun till it just dried out everything that you are to the point where you thought you were just going to collapse into dust. That's kind of the flavor that it had. I got no fruity notes at all, just oh my god, it's so dry. Why the fruit is so dry? So,
I mean,
you know,
I was gonna say some of them really do just taste like ass, but then there are some ass tastes better.
yeah, I can't even like it. It was the absence of flavor. It was like anti-taste being put
No, I
into
need-
your mouth.
Now I need a T-shirt that says "I'd rather be eating ass."
I am 100% sure that already exists. It is
Oh,
out
yeah.
there somewhere.
If Rob Anderson does not have that on his merch shelf, then he has failed as a human being. I'm just saying.
Speaking of shirts we want/need, there is a shirt available, I think, on Oscar Sun. Daddy is a state of mind, and I need that shirt.
Yes, you do.
So just saying.
Yes, I would buy that T-shirt.
Well, CB, I mean, Red Bull does give you wings because eventually it gives you a heart attack, which transforms you into the angel that you were always intended to be. So,
As Persephone said much earlier in the stream, we all gonna die sometime.
You just have to decide what your afterlife is going to look like. Are you a Red Bull or a Monster?
Have you watched the Satanic Panic videos about the Monster Energy drinks?
Yes, I love them so much. Like, not like love. Well, yeah, love. I can't lie. Like, I'm always down for a good Satanic Panic, and this is just one of the like worst ones ever because you have to misunderstand like 5 languages in order to get to the place that they are. Like, I mean, completely misunderstand. And also, like, not know anything because the actual number is 616, not 666. Everybody has been like quoting this wrong for a long time. So, and the fact that they honestly think that it's 555 because they went to the wrong numerical system, which in the one that they picked, it would actually be 555, not 666. So, oh, they're so wrong on so many things. Like, I feel like effort was put in to be this wrong.
Yeah, that people are a little ridiculous. But I do like the fact that the newest season of Stranger Things involved a Satanic Panic subplot.
Oh, yes. It's like you can't do a show set in the 80s and not have a Satanic Panic at some point. Like, that's all my life has been, is a series of Satanic Panics as we run from one to another, and just like listen to the bored devil in the corner going, guys, like, no.
Yeah, and I've watched reactors being like, "Oh my God, stop it! That's not. No, you're misreading everything." And I'm watching it being like, "Yep, that's what the '80s looked like."
Yes. Yes. Like, I still have a copy of several books that I was given in the 80s convincing me that my playing of D&D was going to send me straight to hell. And I like to pull them out every now and then. Devil's Dice is a very fun book if you can get your hands on it, because I don't know that it was meant to read as herny as it does, but the way Satan fondles the dice in several of the descriptions in there is it's just so dirty. It's so dirty.
Yeah.
Actually, Mazes and Monsters is a little bit herny.
Yes. And I will forever bring it up just to shame Tom Hanks because, he needs humility. Like, yes, you may be the star of everything now and everybody's favorite grandpa, but you also did Mazes and Monsters and Bosom Buddies. So, like, get down off your high horse. You chased a woman around with an egg beater as some kind of a weird sex thing in Bachelor Party, which I don't understand at all.
Hello, Chloe.
Hello.
No high horse for him.
Chloe!
The '80s was when I lost my "You're going to hell" virginity, all because I owned a copy of Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Yep. Yep.
How could you?
That was a fun like side note to the Satanic Panic. Like, yes.
So, funny thing, I don't know if it was because we were in Ann Arbor or because people didn't know didn't know that it was the same thing, basically. But me and my friends played Palladium.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Instead of D&D.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, we loved it.
Wow. Okay. I've learned something about
Charlie
you.
has other feelings about that.
I have so many strong feelings about Palladium.
But we didn't get that the people, going weird on us.
I never quite understood the Satanic Panic, especially over D&D, because every time somebody was like, but it teaches you spells. I'm like, no, it really doesn't. Like, I don't know what about this you think is real magic, but No, but it tells you what ingredients to use. Yes, and if you can tell me where to get goblin skin, then okay, but like none of this is useful. Where are the phoenix feathers? Where are the phoenix feathers? Okay, like none of this is useful information.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the ones
Well,
with the satanic panic are the goblins, so.
when I was a wee one, I want to say D&D wasn't a thing here, but it kind of wasn't. Like maybe in the cities, but like we also, when I was growing up, didn't have things like comic shops and game shops. It just, that's a cultural thing that never made it to South Africa, or at least not until I was almost out of high school. So the big moral panic thing when I was a wee one was first Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles,
Mm-hmm.
because I can't even remember the so-called logic, but it was something like showing animals with human intelligence and like whatever. Anyway, and then I believe in the States they were called pogs, but in South Africa they were called tazos. They were like little discs that came in chip packets,
The
Heard
and you
devil's
could like
tiddlywinks.
trade them and like play tiddlywinks with them and like whatever else. But they had, well, I think the first iteration that we had was Pokemon. So they had like Pokemon printed on them. And that was satanic as well, because it's teaching kids to summon demons.
There's a wonderful, and I mean, by wonderful, I mean awful, YouTube pastor whose entire ministry is about ridding people of the demon possession caused by Pokemon. And I do rather enjoy watching his videos with like full Schadenfreude. Like to hear him talk about the demonic Charizard is just like, yes, show that picture again. Oh yes, so scary. So scary. Yes. Yes.
The Pokemon are not corrupting your youth until Karina draws them.
I mean, this is true.
'Cause she is Kirsten Ernie.
I don't know. Matt Pat, in his desperate attempts to get, I can't even say the words out of my head, Markiplier to want to have the naughties with his ideal Pokemon is probably my favorite thing on the internet right now. Because we're now in version 2 and we're waiting for Mark's reply. And if you're not familiar with this whole saga, I highly recommend it. It's so like wholesomely herny. It's great because apparently Mark had a live stream where he did Smash or Pass for all the Pokemon. And then Matt Pat was like, I'm going to design Mark's perfect herny Pokemon, like the ultimate Smash. And then Mark passed on it, which caused him to have like a complete mental breakdown of no, we will solve this problem. And just the fact that this exists is why I love the internet with my entire heart.
So I'm in a Facebook group called Monsters, Demons, and Knotting. Oh my. And if you don't know what knotting is, I'm not going to explain to you because I can't. But so they just opened a Discord, which means that we can now post NSFW art. And there's so much of it that they had to break it down into like 8 categories. So there's like dragons and werewolves and orcs and whatever else. Most of it is, I mean, it's naked and there's genitalia, but they're like fairly sweet. And then like you open the tentacles page and it's hentai. It's tentacle hentai. But it's horrifying on a visceral level that I feel like designing the perfect Pokemon for yeah. Anyways.
I've mentioned this a little bit, but Patricia Taxon's wonderful new video, Art Furry's God, is everything that I've ever felt about art expressed in one video, and I want to share it everywhere, but I know people will be like, oh, so you are finally coming out as a furry. And no, just everything else in there. But in process of this video, she describes what a YIF porn that she is obsessed with, and describes it in such a transcendent and sublime way that I'm like fighting the urge to read it.
I'm just really happy that CSI Vegas warned me about this before it came like a part of my life. And, in moments like this where Charlie says YIF porn, and I'm like, yes, CSI Vegas, that episode. Got it.
Yeah, apparently it's also a video game because, of course it is, because internet.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love Patricia's work so much. And this video is like, again, everything I've ever felt about art. And yes, I want to have that same level of confidence and humility to make just stupid stuff that I absolutely love with my whole heart. Like, yes, that is like the purpose of my being. But the fact that it has this like moment where it just goes through this side quest, through this story about a wolf abductor and all the things that happened thereabouts, makes the video somehow more perfect than it would have been without it. I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Okay, I have to read this explanation, this paragraph.
Oh no.
It's describing what nodding is.
Oh no.
No,
But it's
No.
it's not a graphic one. It is a
Biological one?
it's a tongue in cheek,
Oh.
and it just made me laugh.
Last time I explained it to somebody, I was like, okay, now we're going to go into zoology for a moment and we're going to talk about wolves, and then we're not going to go any further than this.
So this paragraph is like the beginning of an article, and it says, I'm going to start this out real slow and lay out the facts. Nodding is a popular trend in fan fiction. It involves men having sex with men like wolves, and it often leads to male pregnancy, which leads to male delivery. And the people giving birth to feces-covered babies are often members of One Direction.
Wow. Wow.
not an untrue description.
Well, I mean, that is a specific direction it can go in. Oh God. Okay. Certainly it does not apply only to a megaverse, and there is nodding outside of a megaverse, and that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah, but I thought that paragraph was hilarious.
And now
Yeah.
I know I'm on a watch list because one of the robots in the room just said, oh no, you didn't. Randomly for no reason. So yeah, they're going to be watching me very closely now.
Also, I like that actually did zero to define nodding.
Yeah.
There's nothing actually describing what that term refers to, just the outcome in a very specific verse. Yeah.
Okay. On that note, should we do a second sprint?
We
I
should.
like that idea. Let's cleanse the palate.
We need to save Sage from all of the uses of the word visceral.
I mean, at least 3 of them were me. So
I didn't hear any of them, so I came up with it all on my own.
that's totally fair.
All right. We will start in 3, 2, 1, go. And that sprint is done. Sprint is the word I was looking for. Oh,
I thought the bird was the word.
the bird is usually the word.
I thought
Well,
grease was the word.
word.
Oh no!
Wavelengths.
We did a thing.
I still have not brought myself to be able to watch Grease or Grease 2 since my.
I mean, don't
since
watch
my
Grease
past.
too.
Well, Grease 2 is actually one of my favorite movies.
Oh, you said
Because-
you've watched Grease too, but not Grease. What was that?
No,
Did
I've watched both of them.
Okay.
I have. I've seen them both.
What did you say? I didn't understand what you said then.
Oh, I said I haven't brought myself to watch either of them since my aunt passed away.
Oh, got
Because
it.
she's the one who introduced them to me.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I can't. Every time I go to put it in, I'm like, I can't. I love them, and they're my favorite movies.
Grease 2 is so bad though.
Not when your aunt lets you run around her house singing it at the top of your lungs.
That's fair. I understand that. Okay, so I'm going to share something with y'all. I am house sitting for my parents right now. My 70-year-old parents who are alcoholics. We laugh about it, but they're alcoholics. So they have this thing on their wall that says uncork and unwind. And in it is a bottle of El Jimador tequila. Uncork and unwind with tequila.
I mean, is
Also,
choice.
Also, their fridge is mostly beer. There's some more dishes in it, or dishes. There's some more food in it now because I went shopping. But there's like a whole wall of Bud Light. There's some hard seltzers, and then there's, I don't know, Yingling and it's Amberbach. I do know what Amberbach is, but yeah, it's and then there's like all of this tonic water and ginger ale, which I love ginger ale, but they're not just drinking ginger ale here. We all know what they're doing with that ginger ale.
Yeah.
There is such a black market of Yingling, like you have no idea.
Yingling, so I do actually, because when I first moved to Georgia, they couldn't sell Yingling in Georgia. And of course, a lot of people in Georgia were from the mid-Atlantic. So every time, and this was when I was working music festivals, so every time I drove to a state that sold Yingling, I'd have to buy like 10 cases to bring back.
Like if you ever come to Missouri, and God help you if you do, just bring it. It's like bringing jeans to the former Soviet Union. Like it is valid currency. It can be exchanged for things far beyond its initial value.
Is it like Georgia where there is a law saying that they can't sell it there because it's not bottled there? Is it the same thing?
No, they won't. They do not ship west of the Mississippi.
Oh, I had no idea. I guess that makes sense.
They have classified themselves regionally, and so while there are places just on the other side of the river that you can get it, you cannot get it on this side. So people who have gone to events in Illinois have had it, like Illinois and Kentucky have had it, fell in love with it, and then they come home and are shocked that in our globalized society, it cannot cross the river.
Yeah.
It's like the headless horseman. It stops at the banks and goes, no.
It makes sense.
I'm gonna go grab more garlic bread. BRB.
They're so proud of being regional, but they're also owned by like Budweiser or one of them. And it's one of those things where they were a small brewery and then they got bought out, but like whichever of the big ones that owns them, like still lets them do their thing, but they're not technically a small brewery anymore. So it's, yeah, I get it.
Why we always assumed that they would eventually be available, but so far, no, no distributors can carry them because they don't allow that. So
And it is actually a good beer. Even though I did drink, I was not a big beer drinker, but I
Wavelength.
can always like it.
I was thinking that and trying desperately not to say it.
Well, you got me earlier, I got you now.
I got you now.
I got you, Daddy.
You got me, and Daddy, I got you.
Sad.
Oh,
I got you,
God.
Ba-bam, 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 ba-bam.
That could turn into the dirtiest cover, and all you have to do is change like one word. Like he completely changes the entire meaning and purpose of the song just by changing that one word, which makes it kind of a miracle song. And since we lost Bette Midler this week to the land of the turfs,
Oh my God.
She
Oh
went
my
turf?
God.
oh yeah, full on.
I'm heartbroken over that. I
Yeah,
idolized her. Ugh, I'm so mad about that.
Okay,
oh,
I
so angry.
missed that.
Oh yeah, she went full war. Transgenderism is a war on women. Don't let them take your womanhood away from you and call you a person with a vagina. Like a person with a womb.
And she didn't like explicitly say transgender, but she's like, they're taking the word woman away from us, and they're going to call us, they're going to call us people who breed and people who have vaginas, and I don't remember what
We
the
already
other
do.
one was. And like, the thing is that like those terms are for two different groups of people that just happen to heavily intersect, and you can be a woman and also with a person with a vagina, or you can be a woman who is not a person with a vagina, or you can be a person with a vagina who is not a woman. You could still be a woman, though. We are not deleting the word woman from. I'm done. And like, okay, I'm not done though. I'm not, because I can remember when all of this went down with She Who Shall Not Be Named, and like I probably went a little bit longer than I should have on giving her the benefit of the doubt and saying she just doesn't understand it. She just needs to be educated properly, and she doesn't realize how terrible the things that she's saying is. But we're past that time now.
Yeah.
We are, so like Bette Midler came out later saying that she was not transphobic. But no, we're past that. We are past the time where we can give somebody a pass and say that they are not educated.
I am very concerned because the piece that I've been developing for the feminist anthology that Megan is putting together is just pure turf bait. Like it's not intended to be pure turf bait, but like the more I work on it, because it is coming from me, a demigirl who is always like questioning this idea of what is feminine, what is feminism, what is woman, like what is I'm just like, the more I look through my notes, the more I'm just like, I am writing such turf bait, and I found myself like going, I don't know if I need to find a different idea or just, I don't know. I don't want to bring that energy into the comments of other people's videos that don't deserve it. You know what I'm saying?
Remember that like this is bait for that sort of person who, just by saying that you are trans or you support trans people, you are baiting them. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter how polite the words are that they use. They are going to hiss and spit blood at you. So you may as well say what's in your heart instead of trying to sugarcoat it for them, because they don't care about that sugar.
It's less wanting to sugarcoat for others. It's more, I don't want to be a distraction from what I'm sure are going to be a lot of other people with valid concerns as well. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a distraction.
You don't want to be the show piece.
Yeah. And I like, the more I work on it, the more I am concerned. Like, I am just writing pure turf bait. Like, just
So I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that maybe you should run it by people in the group, because a lot of times people, in the group, whatever the group happens to be, absolutely want that energy from you. And would rather you have that energy than to water it down so that everybody else can have a bit of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get it done early so I can do that, because it's that whole thing. Like there's so many things going on right now, and it's like it could as equally be as my submission for the next Pride and Prejudice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not that I'm going to shelve it and it will never see the light of day. It's just I don't know if this is more of the like, you know what I'm saying? Like, where home for you is.
Yeah.
Or do you belong in the feminist anthology? Do you belong over in the Pride and Prejudice anthology? Do you just belong in both and just double link it? I don't know.
My package has been delivered.
Woo.
I have to go pick it up. It contains the gochujang. I had bought a case of Pringles and a case of cream and mushroom soup. Because I can put cream and mushroom soup in so many things and make gravy so easily.
Yep.
I just did an order out Walmart that I did a pickup. Again, I'm staying at my parents' place, so just like doing the do. And my parents have some strawberries that are on the edge right now. So I was like, well, let me get a cake mix and some pineapple and some whipped cream, and I'll make a nice little tasty cake out of it and enjoy that for the week. They gave me 2 boxes of mix, and like, I know I'm a fat ass, but they didn't know that when I placed the order.
So one time I ordered something from Walmart and then they accidentally gave me 2. I was like, hell yeah.
Yeah. They didn't charge me for it. So rock on. But yeah, 2 boxes of cake mix, which means like, there's no way I'm going to be able to use it. I'm not somebody who wastes things. So my parents are going to get back and they're like making cake for you. I'm sorry that is my beer.
CB, I'm not worried about offending people, and I don't think that we should be worried about offending people by being ourselves. There are a lot of parts of me that are very offensive to a lot of people, and I recognize that, which is why I try to give spoiler warnings. At the conventions that I often go to, before I realized that I was non-binary, I was always introduced to people as Mr. Inappropriate. I am now Mix Inappropriate, because people need to understand, like, at some point I will say something extremely inappropriate that is not probably the best thing that could be said.
Like, in all honesty, the just existing offends people.
Mm-hmm.
Of anybody. You will offend someone by existing, no matter if you are anything.
My favorite thing about being a panelist at erotica panels is that, of course, like, people always ask for like tips on how to like keep things exciting and keep it fresh and like not get bogged down with like the repetitive motions. And all of the other panelists always have like really, really great advice. And then it gets to me and I'm like, I mean, alien dick can be whatever you want it to be. And it always shakes the room because nobody ever thinks about non-contemporary erotica when these panels happen. I don't know why. It'll literally be a sci-fi convention, and they're still talking about contemporary erotica. But like, that's my favorite thing to do is the shock value, and also be correct on it. So it did like go to a very much darker place than everybody was expecting. But also it's valid. And as long as it's valid, it's valid.
So I looked at this comment while you were talking about alien dick.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. You don't know.
So I'm currently reading a monster smut where he is a wolf, a wolven is the term that they use. So what's the correct term for that? It's not a werewolf because they're not shifters, but I usually know it as another term. A lichen. He's a lichen. And she is a cake decorator, and has what she describes in the book as bingo arms. And I was like, oh my God, this book is me. Where's my Wolven?
I feel like that's kind of like my like experience of that Patricia Taxon video I was talking about earlier. Like, I don't want to write the furry porn, but I want the audacity to write something that is so me that people just look at it and go, "Why, dear God, did you ever birth this into being?" Like,
Because I could. Because I could.
Yeah.
because some of my favorite art, some of my favorite movies, some of my favorite music is just so that. And one of my favorite musicians in the world who was just 100% himself too much was asked in an interview once, if you write a lot of songs about serial killers, if you were a serial killer, who would you kill? And he just said, well, I guess it would have to be boys because I could only kill out of love. And just said it so matter-of-factly that you could, like, the interviewer slides away from him, like, just scoots back. And I'm just like, because it's just, he was just so 100% himself. He was fascinated. He was a goth musician. Of course he's fascinated by death. What did you think you were going to get? So I'm like, oh, I would never kill anybody. Like, oh yeah, of course I've thought about this. Like, what do you mean? Do you not know
Honestly,
my bruh?
I do not have a list.
face. The straight face is the most powerful tool in the world. If you can say anything with a straight face, you're gold.
But there's such a power to having that integrity that I long to have.
Own it.
So Sage had to go because it is super late there, and CB had to go because she's tired.
Also late there.
Also
Yes.
late there.
Isn't it like midnight there?
11.
That's normally when CB disappears. It's about midnight.
Yeah. It's almost 11 there.
It is 10:40 p.m.
Yes.
I asked the robot.
No, I know Great Britain is 5 hours ahead of us. Oh, well, ahead of me.
I just
I
live
know
in a
nothing
time
of
where I have to
time.
deal with a lot of time zones.
But Sage is currently 6 hours.
Time
During
zones
standard time, they are 7 hours.
Time zones are a tool of the devil to make sure I am perpetually late for everything.
I was late for a thing yesterday because when I signed up for it, we were still on offset, and we're not anymore. And I adjusted backwards. So I thought I was at 8 and I was at 6.
Oh no.
And at 5:50, they were like, hey, what's going on? And I was like, oh shit. Also, what was going on at 5:50 was I was trying to get my good computer hooked up. And in the camper, I've been using the television as my monitor. Obviously, I was not going to bring the television with me. So I got the monitor out of the box and I went to set everything up. And the cord that connects my VGA monitor to my DisplayPort / HDMI computer was missing.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I was about to hop in the car to go to Best Buy, and then I got that message. It was like, I guess I'm using my shit computer then. I got in time, but it was a fiasco. And I was like, I am so sorry. I am a train wreck, everyone. I promise you, I normally do good streams, and it's not this shit, and I didn't do it on purpose. My Twitch streams are delightful, I swear.
They are.
Nobody ever goes to them, but that's okay. I enjoy it.
I feel that sometimes. Especially because Twitch has been having a weird thing lately where it will, both Twitch and YouTube have just been randomly zeroing out the viewer count. And I know people are watching because chat comments are coming in. So, like, I know like everybody didn't leave because they're still talking. to me unless.
Oh, you always use StreamYard, right? Or do you use OBS sometimes?
I have StreamYard open on one computer, and I have the native interface that shows stream health and stuff open on another.
Oh, okay. I have noticed that a lot of times when I'm using StreamYard for Twitch, it zeroes out on me. I don't know if it's the same issue or if it's something different, but yeah. So I've been having that issue, but the native counts have been correct for me.
And that's been a really fun thing, because I'll make like what I think is a funny joke, and I'll watch it all of a sudden show the stream go to 0, and I'm just like, well,
I offended everyone.
that wasn't a funny. And
Strike that from the list.
never do that one again. Nope. But yeah, then it corrects itself later. So it's a problem with it, the way it's reporting data, because those dips completely disappear. Later, it's something about when it asks how many people are watching, it gets a null response from the server. Yep. So like, I know what the problem is, but it doesn't help my own anxiety of like,
right. And then the summary is always correct. Like, I'll have a show where it's 0 for most of the time, but my summary will actually show a higher count than even when it was showing me a count during it. So yeah. But yeah, talking to an empty room can suck. I don't know. I'm really good at rambling to myself whether somebody's watching or not. I just accept it.
I'm getting real good at it.
Yeah.
It
My
just
brain
really hurts.
just went away.
Your brain went away?
My brain went away.
Did you get
I missed the last
server?
I missed the last 2 minutes of whatever was being said.
Cool.
It was techno jargon, so you're fine.
Yeah. That's probably why. Your brain was like, I don't want to hear this.
I don't need to know how the sausage is made, just that it's yummy.
Just that it feels good.
Everything went visible.
Yeah, I think it was a big mistake. Well, a lot of things have been big mistakes in the past week. The first big mistake was finally giving in and downloading Power Wash Simulator. Damn you, Noah.
Noah is such a bad influence.
Every time Brian sees you playing that on Steam, he's just like, he knows we have a deck, right? Like, he could just come down and like clean the deck. Like, I'm so tired of having to clean the deck.
But it's hot.
I'm just saying, I have to hear this joke every time Steam pops up the little thing that says one of you is playing that game. Every time. Every time. It's fine, though. I
really just want to try the food that Brian makes. So I will, if you have a power washer, I will come down. Power washer. I don't know how to use one, but I'll figure it out real fast.
Spence, I had to bring 3 loads of dirty laundry down to my parents' place. So yes, I understand.
I want to get rid of our washer and dryer. I hate them so much.
Like, you just want new ones, or you want to go back to washing clothes by hand?
All of the laundry from the restaurant. All of the laundry from the restaurant. So every night it runs, and it's on the opposite wall from where I sit. And so my floor shakes slightly every time the washer or dryer is running. And so I live in this like perpetual state of seasickness every night as the world is slightly moving.
Why hasn't Brian just gotten a washer and dryer for the restaurant?
This is a very long and painful conversation.
I'm just saying they could do it throughout the day.
So my experience with shaky walls, because of the washer and dryer, not because of other stuff, growing up, like, Delaware, everybody's laundry rooms are upstairs if they have a 2-story house because we don't have basements in Delaware. So like there's nowhere else for your laundry room to be. Unless you want like your main floor to get real fucking hot and you don't want that. So that means that when the spin cycle happens, yes, the entire house has a little ooh.
Yeah.
So this one morning, this was like 25 years ago now. This one morning, I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, why the fuck is my mother doing laundry at like 4:00 in the morning? What is happening? And then I'm like, wait a second. I'm in New York. The laundry room is down in the basement. Oh shit, we're having an earthquake. Upstate New York does have a minor fault line on it. They do get like there's no destruction, but they do get occasional earthquakes that feel very much like your mother is running the washing machine and it's going through the spin cycle.
The motion is so subtle. I thought I had some weird disease for a very long time because I couldn't figure out why I had this like low grade nausea every night. It took me forever to figure it out. And then I went to the bathroom and I came back and I noticed that my chair was wobbling ever so slightly because it's a rocker recliner. And I noticed it just kind of bouncing up and down just ever so slightly. And I'm like, wait a minute. The dryer is on. It's moving the... Oh, I see you now. The problem is not with me. It's with them. We did buy a punishment washer that he's too nice to force the employees to use, though. Because I got a hand crank washer for the restaurant because I was like, look, if they're going to continue being really snotty about things, if they're bad, they can just work the crank. Like, if they're not going to have laundry ready to bring home, they can just work the crank the next day. It's fine. Like, and
You will work the crank.
Yes. Work the crank, Kimmy. Like, just... But no, he's too nice for that, and I don't go in.
I'm not.
Yeah. Little does everybody realize I'm the mean one.
You're a mean one.
I literally only need viewers on my Twitch.
Oh my God. Okay, I have to share this picture that my mom sent me. You have to know children's songs for it to be like really funny.
StreamYard is punishing me with nothing. I see nothing. StreamYard, why are you like this? Everyone else gets to laugh. Oh, there it is. Okay, I get the joke now.
I'm gonna go get my package because I really want my package.
Okay.
I just ate dinner, but I really want Pringles now.
Oh, garlic bread Pringles would be really good.
Oh. Oh, that look was priceless. I need a GIF. If someone knows how to GIFify that I would really love just that cat face reaction as a GIF.
Miss Mary Mac, oh, dressed in black, with silver buttons down her back. Okay, I'll stop. I know way too many children's songs. I might know like all of them.
The problem is I do too, but it's because I was a youth minister, and so they all involve Jesus in some weird way. Because the songbook they gave us was like all the normal children's songs except for with Jesus.
With silver crosses.
I'm just saying I really don't need the apostles rowing their boat. It's fine. Like we don't need to add all these extra words in.
In her crack. Oh wait, that's the Exorcist version.
Pazuzu.
That sounded a little too ooh-woo.
The demon from The Exorcist is Pazuzu.
I know, but the way you said it was very ooh-woo.
I have a problem.
Look, it's the wolf Pazuzu.
Oh, well, what is this? I think I found love with this. Deep down inside my soul. Oh, whoa.
Yeah, the thing that I was going to discuss today was about plot promises. It's an editing thing where writers will promise things. Well, will write things that are basically a promise of plot.
I promised that my plots will be messed up, and I delivered, baby. I delivered.
And it's a matter of does the writer deliver on this promise? And a lot of times writers, especially in earlier drafts, will make promises for things that they don't deliver on. Like bringing up, X, Y, and Z. Like, yes, people in the kingdom are dying of this disease. Okay. Where is it in the rest of this book? It never comes up again. Why are you bringing it up here?
So for the sci-fi romance that I have on Vela, again, I stopped writing it for like a year, and I've just gone back to it, and I'm trying to finish it off and have it mostly finished. And then I realized that there's this whole major plot point through the first half of it about how she doesn't have human eyes. And I totally forgot to ever actually finish that plot line out. And I never explain why she doesn't have human eyes. Vela, right? Like that's the glory of serial stuff.
I have such mixed feelings about Vela still to this day. Like, I'm working on things, and I'm like, this would actually probably work really well on there. Maybe is anything working well on there? Is anybody having success with this?
I know people who have been having great success, who are like top 100 on Vela, and I'm like, I have no fucking clue how you're doing this.
See, my problem with that is, does that translate into the monies? Because I have been included in a couple top 100 lists on Vela over the lifespan of it, and I know how few reads it took to get me there.
Oh, that's fair. From the sounds of it, they're doing well, though. I can't imagine that they would be putting the effort into it that they are if they were not doing well. And like, I've never asked about how much they're making, but
because I have like slight guilt over the Vela money that I have made, because I know how few reads got me those sometimes substantial bonuses, and I'm just like, I mean, I'm not mad at it because he doesn't need another knob rocket. Like, I can take the money, it's fine. But at the same time, it's like, this is the least amount of success I've ever gotten for this much money. Like,
yeah. And that's the only reason that I'm like finishing it out there, because I don't know that anybody is going to read these last couple of scenes. I feel like I only had one person that actually read the dang story all the way through to where it's at right now. And I'm like, I'm just going to finish it and get my like $10 a pop and move on with life.
I may play around with it a little bit more, just because I noticed the other day when I opened my Kindle, my Kindle app, it recommended, here are some Velas you might like. Like, it had it has been doing that a lot more lately. Mm-hmm. So maybe that will bring some readers in if it's doing that for other people. But it feels like such a wasteland.
Yeah.
Do you
And
remember?
now I'm like debating, do I throw it on Radish and see if I get any more traction that way? Or is it just not even worth me contemplating the serialized stuff? Like, do I just bail on it entirely?
I don't know. Romance and erotic seem to work really well on Radish. So
Do you remember when we were having the conversation about it was before Vela was coming out and wanting to make sure that the platform was elevated and not just throwing any old crap on there because we wanted a quality site.
and then
Bold
everybody
of
said crap
you to assume I remember a conversation from a year ago. But yes, I do remember that actually.
And the conversation now is just like Vela.
Well, it's
I will say I never had full confidence in it. I had hope in it, but I just because of how even before it launched, how really the only reason we knew anything about it was from our own circles of people and not from Amazon itself.
Mhm.
Like it did feel terribly mismanaged all the way from the very beginning. And then
Yeah.
especially once we found out that the readers weren't going to have the full interaction level that they can have on Wattpad is the one that I have experience with. Once we realized how limited we were going to be with stuff like that, I think that kind of signaled to me that like, oh, this might not work until Amazon actually puts their weight behind it. And then Amazon never put their weight behind it until, like Charlie said, just recently they've been popping up on the Kindle app. But I don't know if that's been helping anybody or not.
Yeah, because that's the thing is their quality control is so randomized
Mm-hmm.
where they're letting people put public domain text up on there, which is against the rules, and it's really hard to report them. They're letting people scrape other people's content from other places and put it up there. They're letting people scrape content from Vela and put it up there.
Yeah.
But then they're
The exact same problem Amazon has with everything.
and then
I
they're
literally,
banning
like, as
people's
we're talking
accounts.
about it, one of my friends in one of my erotica groups just found her stuff published under a different name.
And then they're banning accounts because somebody else stole their content.
Mm-hmm.
They're banning the originator of the content for it because they have no
Amazon.
Yeah, they have no quality control whatsoever, but they want to pretend that they do, and they're just it's so mismanaged all the way down.
And then meanwhile they tried to ban you because of one bad upload. Yeah. Like it happens. We're busy, dude. We're doing our best. We'll fix it. And you just had a duplicate chapter, right? That was
I just had a duplicate chapter.
Like this is shit that happens, and if y'all are not aware that this is just shit that authors do sometimes, then maybe you need to have more people who are actually authors helping you decide what to do here.
And yet I've read stories on there that are just illegible. The sheer volume of spelling, grammar, and like lack of punctuation. They're just illegible. It's like trying to read James Joyce on acid.
Who's on acid? You or James Joyce, or both?
Both, because
Okay.
like, there's no context here. I don't know if that's a proper noun or not. I don't know what any of this is. Who is what? And that gets through just fine.
What just happened?
But like I've talked to
Who's
people
on acid? What just happened? Third base.
like they let that stuff through, and then I'll talk to people because of the Vela videos I did. People reach out to me like hoping I can save them, which is just the saddest thing in the world because I have no power here. But you know, like that because their account got locked because they had too many misspellings in a chapter they uploaded. And they're like, I don't know what to do. How do I fix this? And I'm just like, I don't know. Here's where I complained, and it's like, but they're letting the other things through that are literally illegible because there's no consistency in how they're doing anything.
Well, and I'm sure that like what's happening to everybody is the same again that happens with the novels. Is I don't know that I've actually looked at all the ways to read Vela or paid attention to it to know, but there's probably some report button And that's the only way. And like, if people are seeing gibberish, they don't even bother to hit buttons. They just move on to something else. And then that person gets their bonus anyways. And that's why that's happening, right? Because Amazon had to put out those bonuses. And then, of course, it's exactly how you end up with a whole bunch of trolls out there. And then meanwhile, if somebody is reading something and they're enjoying it, but there's a lot of spelling errors, they're going to hit that report button. And then that's the person that gets banned and not the person who's literally just trolling Amazon to get those bonus checks.
And it's so frustrating because they need to get rid of the fun money. Like, nobody wants your playground money. Like, that's really holding it back, because I've talked to quite a few people that are interested in some of the stories that are there, that are interested in some of my stories that are there, but they're like, I don't want to buy the theme park money to get in and read it. You know, I can understand that, because they don't want to do, microtransactions are the bane of the internet, because when you have, if you're letting somebody buy something for 25 cents and you have to pay a 26 cents transaction fee to the credit card company, you've lost a penny. Like, I understand where Amazon's coming from in not wanting to let people buy chapter by chapter in that way and like group purchase tokens, but it feels like theme park money, where you trade all of your money for Disney bucks and then get into the park and find out that you can't spend those on any of the things that you want to buy.
Well, there is such an easy fix for this. And that's, you say, all right, well, you all can pay 50 cents per chapter, or you can buy our fun money, and then it's 35 cents per chapter. And then everybody starts off with those 50 cents. And then eventually they're like, I'm reading enough that I'll buy the fun money. And it will correct itself that way. Like, this is something that there is easy strategies to fix where everybody's happy, and you suck people in that way.
Or another way is allow people to sell their fun money back, like casino chips.
Mm-hmm. Or just let people run a bank. Like, just put, okay, well, I'm going to put in a Vela allowance on my account or something. Like, there are so many ways that it could be solved, but they're not looking for solutions, because they all, I feel like it's a cousin to the NFT crap, where they think they're so smart that they've nailed it, and they're not looking at it as having the flaws that it has. Like, they're just like, how do you not understand? How are you not brilliant enough to see that we nailed it? Like, we fixed it. It's perfect. And there's a lot of that.
Radish still has the market share. Mm-hmm. That's how we know. Radish is beating you, Amazon.
Like, you're Amazon. Like, you have 90% of everything.
Yeah.
The fact that you don't of this, like, that's the one reason why I was excited about it, is just because they control so much of the reading ecosystem that it has. And I think it still has the potential to be huge. It's just they're not doing any of the things that they need to do to make it work.
They're not doing anything.
Nope.
Again, like, we do see it a little on the Kindle app now. Although, can you actually read it on? I guess you can read it on the Kindle app, and that's why we're seeing.
You can read it on the Kindle app now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, but so they still haven't launched it anywhere else yet. And again, they're not actually doing any marketing for it whatsoever.
And I just
not even like, I don't see anything anywhere.
And I just did a check, and I had to really type in specificity to get my own Vela project to show up in search.
Oh, that's a good question. I was talking about this the other day, and is the adult filter still on the wrong side of the screen? And does it still reset every single time you click on anything?
Because I was curious if they finally fixed search, and basically, if I don't search the name of the book, the name of one of the chapters, and my name, my project does not show up at all, no matter how many pages I scroll through. And that's a problem. Plus, let us put it on our freaking author pages.
Yes. Author page.
Oh, they've changed that. You can do that now.
It wouldn't let me when I tried. I'll try again.
Oh, when did you try? Yeah. I just saw somebody talking about it maybe 2 days ago.
Oh, that would be amazing. Not that I'm currently testing this out or anything. Because
Yeah.
when I
There it
saw,
is. Yeah, you can.
because I saw something about that, and it wasn't finding it like everything else with their stupid search was not finding me.
Wait, sorry. It looks like you already. Okay. Wait. So I think it already is on mine.
Oh wow, this has books that aren't even in print anymore here. Why did you put this back
Perfect.
on?
Amazon.
Amazon, why are you like this? Oh, and you reverted to one of my old pictures. Yay.
So what I'm getting from this is that Amazon needs to hire you two
Yeah.
as their marketing and basically management team strategists.
Yes.
And actually give you the power to make the changes needed to make it viable.
And money.
I kind of mentally lumped in money with the power because that is the power.
I really need money though, so I'm gonna enforce that a lot.
Oh, like personal money, yes, that too.
Let me re-upload a different picture that doesn't look like I have a mustache because they applied a filter or something when they reverted to an old picture of me and it looked like I have a mustache. So let me fix that. That's bad.
Gross.
Yeah, it's really weird. Like why does that filter like it? I full on look like I have a mustache in the picture, and I've never had a mustache. Like it's like a John Waters kind of mustache. I also look like I'm wearing white lipstick, which is I don't know what they did, but please stop.
That's kind of cool or something. I don't know.
Now I'm trying to put those two aspects into a picture together with my brain, and it's
Yeah.
not happening.
I got there. I don't know. I got there.
I might just be too tired.
Because this is a really, really.
Do you know about how long it takes for the author page to update?
I don't.
Because I just tried to claim my books, my novellas. Let's see if it worked. Because it's not. Like I clicked to claim that.
Whatever they did to upscale this, I look like I have a mustache and I'm wearing white lipstick.
I don't see the white lipstick part.
I don't know what they did to upscale it, but wow, did it make my face red. And wow, does it look like I have a mustache. Plus, that picture's like 8 years old. That's like 5 profile pictures back.
And when you said John Waters mustache, I thought you meant the actual pencil line that is over.
Oh no, it's just thin and wispy and like, why are you even trying?
Because that's what he has now. Is like it looks like someone took an eyebrow brush and just drew a straight line across the top of his lip.
Well, I'm gonna have to keep checking this.
Yeah, it's showing no results for the names of any of my Kindle, any of my KDP projects.
You can search it through your the SNing number code thing for your project.
ASIN?
Yeah. My brain wants to. There is no dots. It is a word now.
Oh, and that's
I'm
fun.
going to pronounce
When I
this
did that,
thing.
it found 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versions of my book.
Woo! There's your book all day now.
Okay, now if you click
8, 9, 10, 11. How many times is this book on Amazon? 12?
Is it your
13.
different chapters or different
No.
episodes?
No, the collection, the collected version. It has so far 14 different versions of it.
Oh,
Oh, that's
Amazon's doing
fun.
great.
And they all have the exact same cover.
On
Yay.
Bella now, if I click on, it does have a hyperlink now to my author page now on my things for the author name.
This is the John Waters mustache.
Yep.
But yeah, I've
Thin with
only got
the
one
wind.
copy of mine. I don't know why yours was pandemonium like that.
I don't understand anything anymore. I've come to believe this several times, and it's only in the back end. It doesn't. It didn't show up like that when I searched it in search. So I don't know.
And I feel kind of funny.
Yeah, yeah. Everything's all right. Yes, everything's fine.
And we want you to sleep well tonight.
Honestly, it's been ages since I was here last, and now I'm curious about how up to date everything is. No, you know what? Everything looks pretty up to date, other than these guys. Which thank you for the tip there, Kat. Because again, like I was seeing this all over the group where people are actually doing well with it. Everybody was excited earlier in the week about this. And I just was like, oh, I'll do that someday. I don't know, maybe never. Yeah, all of mine.
Yeah, so
were
now
good.
it took a few minutes, but it's showing up on my author page now as well. Because it wasn't
Yeah.
actually, it would link to it. So, like from Vela itself, you could click my author name and it would go to the page, but nothing showed up there for them. But now they're showing up there.
So I love that on my author page, all of the books that I have actual print editions for, those are the images that they are using for the covers. And because they're the print versions, the colors are all jacked up. Because you gotta like tweak your settings a bunch to make your print version look like your digital version. And yeah, so like all of my book covers on my Author Central page look like shit, but that's okay.
Now will it update the picture? I uploaded a new picture. Though my hair is fabulous in this picture. I will give that back.
Welcome to the episode of Jace's show where we just fixed our Author Central shit.
I feel like that needs to be a stream in and of itself. Like, we'll just title it Amazon. Why? And
yeah. This feels like it needs to be like a Twitch live stream where somebody's actually showing the action on their screen of them fighting their dumbass Author Central page.
And then you have to bounce over to Amazon itself to like, did it actually work or did it not work?
Right.
And so far, none of the changes that I did have.
This actually makes me really excited that this is like linked to the author page, and hopefully this will also motivate me. Like a little voice in my head will be like, "Hey,
you should do the thing.
You actually did this thing. You've achieved something. You're not a failure." If y'all want to hear me talk about the voice in the back of my head, I did a video about it. I did not mean to make the beginning of it sound like rhythmic, but I did. It was not a script. It was not written beforehand. It was just me talking about what the voice in the back of my head says.
I feel like getting anything on Amazon really should feel like more of an accomplishment than it does, because none of their systems work well at all.
Yeah.
So the fact that you successfully got anything to show up in their store, huge success, because no one sees the hours of, why did that upload wrong? Why are you telling me there's a file error? I used your thing to compile the file. What?
It's like when you have to explain to new authors why sometimes you have to go through KDP help, and sometimes you have to go to Author Central help. And these are the categories where the KDP people will do better, and these are the categories where the Author Central people will do better. And also, they're the exact same people, and I can't possibly explain why these two pages are set up completely different when you ask for help. But like, trust me, for this issue, you need to go to KDP, and this issue, you need to go to Author Central. Just trust me.
I never go to KDP help for Vela help, even though Vela is a subset of KDP because they have a completely separate help system for KDP than they do for Vela because, oh my goodness, they're trying to bring back the Ottoman Empire. Like, it is the most Byzantine system I have ever seen in my life.
I realized that this is like the ideal place for you guys to have this conversation because I don't have an Amazon account. And so if you're doing this on my stream, there's no one for them to attack.
True.
Oh, that's fair. Fuck those people at Amazon. No, don't track me down. I love you guys. Thank you for giving me money.
Daddy, we love you. The rocket's really cool. The rocket's really cool, Daddy. Love
You're
us.
not worthy.
Every time I look at my covers, I'm just like, wait, I actually made those?
And the one thing I can say without irony, you're so much cooler than Elon Musk will ever be because he will never be anything other than a dweeb.
The other day I saw an article titled, does Elon Musk have a breeder kink? And I was like, but like, serious question, does he? I think he does.
Can we just get over the idea that he has any understanding of how business works? Because after his whole reason for like, I'm not buying Twitter is he apparently did no due diligence prior to signing a legally binding contract to do so. Like, this is his argument, is that I did absolutely no homework, no pre-work. I did not look into this company at all. And I am shocked that it is the company I agreed to buy. I don't, because if he does get to weasel out of it, he still owes them $1 billion. Oh, okay. Because they wrote that. They knew that this was him doing it for the lulz. And so the contract has an exit where he can just nope out at any time, but he has to hand them $1 billion in cash.
So I hope that we can pay that.
Yeah. So either way, they win. They either get bought out and get the money, the way too much monies, or they don't get bought out and they get way too much monies. But like, I'm sorry, you are not good at the business if you don't know that you do your due diligence before you sign the legally binding contract.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Would you
that's
like to know what else I bought from Amazon?
So
I bought a 96 pack of Raisin Bran. But it's the cups.
Oh, 96 cups. I thought it was a pack from 96.
No.
I saw like this like supermarket pallet of like box 96.
That was what I was picturing.
Showing up the cat's house, and I'm just like, how are you going to move those into the house? Like, Nat's going to be so mad when you have nothing but like an entire room that's nothing. But
I mean, in all fairness, it's fairly light.
Just builds a wall.
Yeah. It's an art installment at that point.
And so it is novelty items not intended for consumption.
Oh my.
I'd be like, here's a can of canned condensed soup from 98. Novelty item not intended for consumption.
No, I just heard this is what I bought.
It just sell it.
I bought a 96 count pack of these.
Okay.
Welcome to the Raisin Bran wing of our apartment.
Can we pause for a moment and appreciate the fact that they photoshopped that instead of just taking a photo of the Somebody got paid to make that.
Oh my.
No,
and the best part is
I'll show you the image that they did for the Pringles.
And the best part is they finished it and nailed it. No one will ever know. none of the sizes make sense, and how these are all like sharing the same quantum space.
This is
Because you
physics.
realize each ball is overlapping, right?
Look
They're
at the
sharing
poodle.
material
Okay.
space.
Oh god, I'm seeing it in the little preview thing. It's oh my god.
It literally comes in a nice little 12. You don't have to Photoshop stuff badly.
I love that graphic makes it look like they're like flat, like not completely piece of paper, but they're like a really narrow oval. They're like, yeah, like that. Like they're actually shaped like that.
I do love that they all share the same quantum superposition, though.
Yes.
That like these are magic Pringles.
And also that like the photographer took the time out to put a little riser in the back for the back side of them to be just a little bit taller.
Just a wee little bit.
Yeah. That's some thought right there.
Just like, we don't need a background. Just show the stack of chips.
In case you don't know what a Pringle is, here you go.
Fine.
You know, I'm so like not believing any of this anymore. I'm like, they took 5 distinct pictures of 5 different Pringles and just stacked them on each other. Like, none of this is real.
I am offended that there is no photo of one Pringle stacked upside down on top of another to make a duckbill.
You're right, there is not.
Where's that photo? Because that's the photo that sells Pringles to me.
That is the quintessential Pringles experience.
Okay, I love that they didn't even use an actual thing of Pringles in this picture.
No.
They literally digitally added Pringles to this
Is
picture.
that a Chex Mix can? Like, was that originally a Chex Mix can that they just put Pringles on? Like, I feel like I've seen this ad before, but for Chex Mix.
Oh, you probably have. Like, I bet if you went to Shutterstock right now, you would find that photo of 2 sneakers and a shirt and a
Soccer ball?
nondescript sports ball.
I think it's a soccer ball.
A very stylized soccer ball.
Yeah.
And then you just put whatever you want in the center.
They're literally
Yeah, and the shading, like, there's literally light underneath the Pringles.
Yeah.
Oh, crap, you're right.
Yeah, we forgot how shadows work in this one.
Pringles are magic.
I mean,
that's what they're trying to convince me.
Yeah, like we learned that years ago, but thanks.
Yeah, I have a 12-pack of these now.
I support that.
Well, I was craving salt, and was at the store the one day, and they had a sale on them, so I bought a couple. And then I just ate an entire big container in one day, and then I ate the second big container the next day. And I was like,
I love how you're doing this brag that you're better than the rest of us by saying one day rather than one sitting.
Oh my God. Okay, weird random story. When I was out shopping today, I ran into Publix because there was a couple of things that didn't work out at Walmart, and I found out while I was at Publix, like I got that message that they couldn't fulfill a couple of items, and I was like, all right, I'm right next to Publix. I'm going to run in, and since I'm running in anyways, I'm going to grab myself a guava cheese pastry because they're amazing. And I'm talking to the lady at the counter. She asked me if a bag was fine, and I was like, that's fine. I'm just going to put it in my mouth anyways. And so we're talking, and I was telling her that I have this customer at my store who will buy a pedophore and just hold his hand out, and we will give him the pedophore and the price sticker, and he will eat the pedophore as he is walking up to the register to pay for it. And she was telling me that she had this customer who every week would buy 24 potato rolls. She would get that bag when she first walked into the store, and by the time she left the store, she had already eaten 6 of the potato rolls every single week. 6 potato rolls and the amount of time you spend grocery shopping every single week.
So many potato rolls.
I don't know what it says about me, but that may be the most relatable story that's been shared on this entire stream. Like, I've never actually done that, but I want to now.
I feel like a one-time thing, or like once a year when shit is like exceptionally bad, like our constitutional right to abortion was just removed. Like I could see it happening then, but not like every week because it's Tuesday.
No, it's her Tuesday food.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is
Literally
America, so like
potato
every
rolls
Tuesday something
beforehand.
terrible is happening.
This is my potato roll pound.
Oh, okay. It is almost a half hour past the end.
Yeah, we do that.
We do that. So thank you for coming. And we'll see people. Oh wait, I don't have any more streams this month. So watch their spaces for
I will
things.
be doing all of the streaming because I'm trying to make the voice in the back of my head shut up and be like, fine, then I guess we're going to treat this like a job.
My
I have been
streams,
quite active on Twitch. Yeah, it is what it is.
my streams with non-exclusively not Charlie's Angels will be returning on Wednesday.
I have. If Amber streams tomorrow, then I'll be on her stream, and hopefully I will stream on Twitch on Tuesday for game time. But other than that, yeah, after Tuesday, I'm out for the rest of the month. So, goodbye, farewell, and I will
Ciao.
see people in August.